You're listening to the Nourished Child Podcast, episode number 45.
Welcome to the Nourished Child Podcast, a show about childhood nutrition, feeding kids, and dealing with the ups and downs of growing a healthy child. Here's your host, registered dietitian and childhood nutrition expert, Jill Castle.
Hey there, welcome back to the Nourished Child Podcast. I'm Jill Castle, and host of the Nourished Child Podcast, a show about childhood nutrition, feeding kids, and dealing with the ups and downs of raising them inside and out. So today's show is titled, it's episode number 45, and it's titled TEDx, Turkeys, and Table Manners. So it's not going to be a long show today because tomorrow is Thanksgiving, and I am hosting over 30 family members at my home, some of which are arriving as we speak, or as I speak. Interestingly, this is going to be a very fun Thanksgiving for our family, mostly because we have a brand new family member. There is a baby coming to the table this year who is about 2 months old. And our, I would say, patriarch of the family is also turning 85. So I have quite a range of ages coming to the table. I'm not sure what your Thanksgiving feast looks like, but at our house, with so many people, I have to get a couple of turkeys, and my husband and I usually have some sort of a cook-off. Thankfully, he brines both of the turkeys, but I usually cook one in the oven, and he cooks the other one in the green egg. So he basically smokes the turkey, and we always have sort of a little bit of a contest with everybody to see which turkey is better. And you would probably think in your head that the smoked turkey was better, but sometimes it doesn't work out that way. So last year, I think my oven turkey was much moister and better than his green egg turkey. So just putting that out there. But honestly, my husband, John, is really the big winner because he goes through the effort of making pretty spectacular brine for both of the turkeys. We also have vegan dishes and gluten-free dishes. So we have a wide variety of dietary restrictions in the family. And so I tend to serve everything like a buffet. We used to do sit-down plated meals, but we don't do that anymore because there are so many differences in what people can eat and what they can't eat that we just do a big old buffet and everybody pitches in. Everybody brings some sort of a side dish or desserts or appetizers, just a huge variety. I certainly don't cook the entire meal myself. I have a lot of help. We have a great time. It's full of laughs. We wager on all the football games and we have dance-offs towards the end of the day. So it's a really, really fun time for our family. And I do feel so thankful for my Castle family because they have just embraced me over the years, going on almost 25 years now. That's hard to believe. And have just been great. They've been a great family to be a part of. I have much gratefulness, many gratitudes in my life. And Thanksgiving is such a nice time to be able to just take a moment and pause and look back on all the things each and every one of us has to be grateful for. 4 of my biggest blessings are my 4 children, and so they are all going to be under one roof this holiday season, and I cannot wait. Today, my oldest daughter came home, and the 2 of us went for a run together, which is something I dreamed of for many, many years, and something that she literally had no interest in joining me on for many, many years. We're doing it now, and this is not the first time, but I think the 3rd or 4th time we've gone together for a run over just the last 4 or 5 weeks. So I'm really thrilled about that, and I do consider that a great blessing as we come into the holiday season. Once again, I've mentioned this before, I'm part of a terrific parenting podcast network called Parents on Demand, or the POD Pod Network. This month, I want you to take a listen to Motivating Mom, hosted by Lisa Druxman. Lisa's passion is to raise healthy moms so they can raise healthy kids in a healthy world. Get out of overwhelm and get on to living your best life as a mom. Join Lisa as she inspires you each week to eat clean, live fit, and be happy. She talks food, fitness, life balance, and living with purpose and passion. I'll include the link to her podcast in my show notes. But for your record, It's www.fit4mom.com/podcast. In my latest newsletter, I talked about the pressure that kids can feel at the holiday table. I remember myself even feeling the heat as a parent to have my kids be good eaters around the holiday table. And I can assure you that being a pediatric dietitian made it worse. But here's what I know. The holidays are already a pressure cooker for so many kids. They have to give hugs to relatives who aren't in their everyday lives. They sit at a table for longer than normal. They eat food or are presented with food that isn't very familiar. The behavior expectations are very high, and they may be required to use manners that really aren't well formed. And one of the things they have to do is make eye contact with all these big people. I remember that was a real trying thing for one of my children. All of this is a lot. And rather than putting more pressure on our kids, I think we need to lavish more love and understanding and patience. I think we can prep our kids for the minimum expectations, like saying hello to everyone or sitting at the table. But in terms of trying a bite of everything or eating a full plate of food, I just ask that you don't get too discouraged, because our kids are oftentimes overwhelmed with the pressures around the holidays. And so one of the things that you can do, or one of the things that I do for our family guests, is to have some just pretty plain, safe foods. Milk is always available. There are rolls. There's fruit, fresh fruit, raw veggies like carrots and dipping sauce. So there are foods around and available for younger children to have that aren't so foreign and exotic. And that's something that can help a child feel more comfortable as well. This also wants me to talk about manners at Thanksgiving, because those come up a lot. And I know we put a lot of expectation around good manners. And I know I always felt very proud when my children showed their manners, such as saying please or thank you. And what I want to say about Thanksgiving is that if you haven't been practicing manners at home, you haven't been gathering around the table with your children so that they can learn how to eat in a group setting and learn their manners in the safety of their own home, you can ask for their manners to be shown over the holidays. But again, lower your expectation, because children need a lot of time to learn and practice their manners. Lack of family meals makes it hard for kids to learn and practice table manners. And I'm seeing this more and more even in my own practice, where parents will complain or wish that their child had more table etiquette. And oftentimes it's the parents who just are so busy that they're not able to sit around the table on a routine basis during the week or on the weekends. And that is really and truly where children learn their table manners, by sitting at the table, eating with their family. I wrote a post on manners. It's called How to Help Kids Develop Manners on my blog, and I'll include the link in the show notes. But it is prompted a lot by the fact that Thanksgiving comes around, because I hear this so much, that here we have all this family gathered, everybody's happy, everybody's so excited to be together, and a child who's not eating or a child who isn't mannerful can be a real bummer for parents. So I just, again, wrote this post so that you could have some guidelines or some references as to some of the easy ways you can practice and improve your family's table etiquette. So I have 8 different steps that you can take, or easy ways you can practice and improve your children's manners at the table. Again, I can't emphasize enough that family meals at home or in a restaurant, as often as you can, really streamlines the learning around table manners and allows your child to practice them. TEDx. So many of you know that I did a TEDx talk in early October, and I'm pleased to tell you that the video is up on YouTube as of now. So the talk is called The Nutrition Prescription for Healthier Kids. And in it, I talk about what I call the trifecta of childhood nutrition, which is food and nutrients plus positive feeding plus knowledge of child development. So I see this trifecta as the key to raising healthy kids inside and out. And I've been using this approach for years and years in my practice. In fact, if you know the book Fearless Feeding, a lot of it is based on the what, how, and why of feeding. Similar concept. So this whole trifecta, when we focus on food and nutrients, feeding, and child development, it's a more holistic approach. It's not just focusing on food as a solution to raising healthy kids, and it's not just focusing on feeding as the end-all be-all of raising healthy kids. It combines development, feeding, and nutrition. It's holistic, sensitive, caring, I believe, and it covers all the bases with regard to children's health. So you can hear me explain it in my TEDx and also listen to what I think is the unequivocally necessary change that needs to happen for our nation to ever get close to improving the health of our nation's kids. I'll include the link in the show notes. I hope over the holidays or towards the end of this year, you can jump over to YouTube and actually listen to it. And if you like it, give me a thumbs up, and even a comment is great. I'd appreciate it. Last, just want to make a couple of announcements. If you are a pediatric nutritionist, I am opening a mastermind program called Thrive. If that is of interest to you, or you think you might be interested in this type of a program, it's a 6-month program that includes group calls, individual one-on-one strategy sessions with me, expert calls, as well as access to my online courses and some of my other resources. If this is of interest to you, in order to help you grow your business and expand your thought leadership and your presence, I will include the link in the show notes so that you can get on a list that will allow you to be informed of all the dates and the release of the program. I'm going to do a live educational webinar prior to the course opening or prior to the program opening. So you'll be able to know when that's all happening. If you put your name on this list, you'll get all that information up front. I've had several listeners ask me about the ADHD e-course beta program. I am working on that, and I am hoping to launch that in January. If you want to be a beta tester, if you're a beta tester, you are going through the course with me and taking the course, and you're also providing me feedback with how I can make the course better. If that's something of interest to you, it will be a small fee, a small fraction of the ultimate cost, and there will be a limited number of positions available to be a beta member. If that's of interest, please send me an email at jill@jillcastle.com and let me know. I'll put your name on the list. Last, I am putting on the finishing touches on my course called Eat Like a Champion, which is a partner course to my book, Eat Like a Champion, Performance Nutrition for Your Young Athlete. The difference in this course is that I have written it for the young athlete to take. So that means your son, your daughter can actually take the course. It's a 4-module course. It covers the basic nutrients. It covers meal planning and a whole bunch of other things like snacks and hydration and all kinds of stuff. That will be releasing very, very soon. I'm actually finishing up the course over the weekend, so I'm hoping to have that up and available for you. So if you're not on my newsletter, jump on it, because that's where I will be announcing that the course is open, and it will be open for a limited amount of time. I'm hoping to have it available before the holidays. So if you want to give it as a gift to your young athlete, it will be ready for you to do so. That's a wrap for today. I told you it was going to be short and sweet. I hope you all have a fabulous Thanksgiving holiday. As always, thanks for joining me today. I'm always so happy that you chose to listen to this podcast. Be sure to give that child in your life, big or small, a very loving squeeze today. I'll see you in a couple of weeks. Bye for now.
Thanks for listening to the Nourished Child Podcast, where the #1 goal is to help you grow a nourished child, inside and out.